In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can quickly and easily build an application on the ServiceNow platform without coding. App Creator provides the building tools and allows you to leverage many of the platform services, such as email notifications, graphic workflows, integrations, and reporting in the process. First, let's navigate to System Applications and select Create Application. On this form, we provide a name and a short description of our application. You will notice that the menu field is automatically populated with the application's name. This menu field determines the name of the application as it appears in the Application Navigator on your left. Similarly, the user role field is automatically populated based on the application name. Here, we can define a new role and add it to a group. Then the group members will inherit that role and have access to manage the application. In this case, they will be able to manage visitors. After completing the form, we save it by clicking Update or by quickly right-clicking the header bar and selecting Save. The system creates a new application record, and you can see this application selected automatically at the top of the screen. This means that any changes we make from this point on will be associated with this application. When the application is complete, we can easily publish it to an update set and deploy it to another instance as a full-fledged application. Now that our application has been defined, we can start building it out by creating a new table. We'll define the table structure for this application to capture the details of visitors, such as the name of their contact here, which company they represent, and so forth. We'll call this table Visitor, and the database safe name will be created automatically. Here, we can choose whether or not to extend an existing table. Most of the tables in ServiceNow, such as those for incident and problem management, extend the task table. That table has a series of predefined fields, and we can extend it to inherit those existing fields and leverage the data structure that already exists. For our application, we'll start from scratch. Here, we can create a module or menu item within the visitor registration application so that the populated table information is easily accessible from the Application Navigator menu. On the right-hand side, we can enable access controls for this application and specify which user role is allowed to manage this application. Here, the user role we created on the previous screen is pre-populated. By selecting Auto Number, we define our number maintenance system to uniquely identify each table entry. The prefix VIS is populated from our app name, so our records will be created as a VIS followed by a 7-digit number incrementing from 1000. When we save this, the system automatically creates base fields for our records to collect data such as when the record was created and by whom, when the record was updated, and the record number based on the number maintenance formula we defined earlier. With a few clicks, we can add a new field called On-Site for our visitor record and use this list to select the data type for the field. Options here include strings, dates, choice lists, and more. Since the visitor is typically on site, we will select a true or false data type for this field and default it to true. Now let's add a host field and make it a reference type. And select the table that we want to reference. In this case, we'll reference the sysuser table, which contains the names of all employees in our company. We also want this field to be mandatory. We can quickly add first name, last name, and company name fields, since they all contain the same data type and are recorded the same way. If we do not specify a data type, it defaults to string. Next, we'll add a true-false field to indicate whether or not the visitor is parked on site. If the value of this field is true, we want to capture the license plate number so that security doesn't issue a parking citation. In a moment, when we're done defining our table, I'll show you how to set up a conditional field for that. Finally, let's create an image field so that the receptionist can take a picture of the visitor directly from the application. We can associate this image to this record to print on the visitor badge each time this visitor arrives. Saving this table creates all those fields, and now we can explore the result. Notice that the Application Navigator now contains a visitor registration application, and within it is the visitors module that we created in the previous form. Currently, there are no records, but we can create one by clicking New. So here's the new form, automatically numbered following our specified convention, with our fields and data types displayed. We can easily reorder the fields by right-clicking the form's header bar and selecting Personalize Form Layout. Here we can also add or remove fields from view. Once we're done making our changes, we can right-click and save it. We still have one more thing to do. That is, to make the vehicle registration field visible only on the condition that the parked field value is true. To do that, we need to create a new UI policy. Right-click the form title bar and select Personalize UI Policies. Click New and add a short description. The condition builder allows us to specify under what conditions the vehicle registration field will be visible. We want to take action only when parked is true. The action will be performed on the vehicle registration field, and that action is to make it visible. Also, we'll make that field mandatory. After we save this condition, the vehicle registration field will only appear if the parked option is selected true. If selected false, the condition field will simply not appear, so of course it will not be mandatory. When we look at the form, we see that the vehicle registration field is not displayed unless the parked checkbox is true. Now that the core of our application is complete, we can leverage the platform to extend the app's capabilities, such as setting up notification rules so that the hosts are notified when their guests have arrived and registered, or creating a friendly user interface for a lobby kiosk or iPad. If you want to check out this custom application that we just built on the ServiceNow platform, navigate to the Visitor Registration app in the Application Navigator located to your right. Thank you very much.